saying thank you for all the feedback that I have received. I know I've responded to a lot of the feedback in the comment section, but I wanted to officially thank you on a video as well too, because I know that I have, I guess I do have this idea, and I do want to be able to succeed on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, just as much as I feel like anybody else does. But I also could be wrong with that statement, because a lot of the people that left comments on the videos don't have profile pics or anything like that. And even people that I have talked to beforehand too, like they aren't really into posting content or anything like that. So maybe something will come of it, maybe something won't. I don't know. I guess I've just, an aspect of me is like fed up with content, because everybody's just trying to like get your attention, get your attention, get your attention. And I've just never wanted to have to like force my way into your field. It's more of like, if you want to come and watch my videos and listen to the things that I have to say, then you have every right to do that or not do that. And obviously the ones that don't do that wouldn't even be hearing me say that. I've talked about this many times for other videos that I made a while ago. But yeah, I guess I just, when I think about content, when I think about videos, and when I think about a lot of these other like creative endeavors, is yes, there is a formula for it. Because I've talked with artists as well too. Like this one dude on one of these hikes that I ended up going on, he was telling me about like he drew like a landscape piece. Like, dude, this is incredible, this is awesome. And he's just like, yeah, there's this other person that's like just naturally gifted, that he knew that was naturally gifted at like being able to create content or being able to create art or something like that. I was like, oh, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, I went and took this one class, and there's all these other like things that we had to get involved, and like there's all this different equipment that I didn't know that I needed to get in the first place. And I was like, oh, I understand that. And he's just like, yeah, it kind of felt like it kind of took away a little bit of like my creative aspect of like what I wanted to do. I understand that there's like principles to it, but he's just like, it didn't seem like authentic to me. And I guess that's what I have run into myself as well too, with the content that I create and the videos that I share. So I've said this multiple times, and I'll probably continue to say it until it doesn't baffle me anymore or confuse me. And maybe it's not even a confusion, it's more of a surprise, possibly. Because I've tried to do these other videos that have been like overly edited, overly produced, like done a lot of research around like being able to create the content of like, oh, this is the video, this is the idea, this is how I'm going to be creating it, like going on to other people's like YouTube page or YouTube channel and being like, okay, I like this video, let's see if I can make a little adjustment to the video that they did to make it like myself or for me. And when I would do that, it didn't feel like it was myself. So I was like, well, maybe I need to change what I do, maybe I need to adjust how I make my content, because this is how I started making content years ago. When I first started, like it was like 8 years ago or something like that, and I have improved a lot over the years. I guess I just see it as in like, whenever I would listen to content, whenever I do listen to content, 99% of the time it's just a talking head like this. It's just something simple, somebody sharing their ideas online that I either resonate with or that resonates with me. And it gets a lot of views, it gets a lot of attractions, it gets a lot of comments, because he has experience. And I guess when I first started out, I didn't have that experience, so I didn't think that the talking head stuff like this would actually be worthwhile for somebody to listen to. And then I think back to when I was doing my sales career, and it's kind of what I'm having to get back into, because I keep being frustrated at myself that I ended up like leaving that job. But also at the same time, I think it's just because now I don't have the money to be able to afford like the income, so now I have to go back to working to be able to get the income. But we'll figure that out. But there's this guy on YouTube that I would listen to in like the spiritual community, and I went to a couple of his like group meetings. They called them songs, and I went to a couple of them, and it was nice being able to meet with him and actually have a conversation with him like in a group setting. And that was pretty cool. I had never done something like that before, but he was just a small independent channel. Like all he did was he just posted videos just like, not just like this, but like basically just no thumbnail creation, no editing. It's kind of like Dry Creek Ranger as well too, if you've ever heard of him. There's like, all it was just like a still from the video itself with the title. And I've always liked those videos a lot more than this like over the top content stuff, because like that's not the audience that I'm trying to reach. And I've realized that now. I'm like, I'm not trying to reach everybody, I'm trying to reach the people and have this video go to the person that needs it, that needs to hear the things that I'm saying right now. I don't know who that person is. By you responding and giving me feedback in the comments, that does make it so it's easier for me to make these videos in a more tailored approach. even though I never expected to have anybody watching these videos in the first place. So I figured I was just going to be venting to the void for years, and I was perfectly okay with that. And I still am okay with that as well too. I guess I've just seen so many other people, like, their channels blow up overnight, or they get all these views and all this attention. I'm like, that's awesome. And I'm always curious as to, like, what type of content they're making. Are they making brain rot content? Like, are they making actually informative content? Like, what is it that they're making? Because I don't know. I do know that the type of content that I like to make is just me talking about my experience of whatever I had going on in my day, because I look at it more in terms of, like, you guys are friends, and if you want to listen to the things that I have to say, cool. If not, cool. Like, I know you responded to one of the comments saying that as well too, and that's just kind of my approach right now. Maybe it's not the best approach, and clearly it hasn't been the best approach, because I've lost all the money that I had saved up for this past year. But I also didn't really lose it though. Like, that's the thing, is I didn't lose any of the money. I used the money for something that I felt at the time was valuable and more important to me than the job that I was in. So I decided to leave, and I guess I've been trying to make these YouTube videos, and I am making the YouTube videos because it's my way, I guess, of being like, oh, I'm still productive, I'm still trying, I'm still testing it. Like, I'm still trying to take the shot in the dark, because the program that I bought back in college, that was like $997, maybe I still hold a grudge over that. Maybe I'm still a little bit upset that I spent that much money and I still haven't made that money back from YouTube. But it's just like, I've also learned so much more in the process, like from the books that I've read, the conversations that I've had, the people that I've met, the confidence that I've gained from that small investment. And some, like, it was frustrating, don't get me wrong, because it's just like, I was promised this, like, big guarantee or whatever it is. It was like, oh yeah, you can make $2 million a year off of YouTube. I was like, that's awesome. Like, all I have to do is talk, and I can make money, and I can go out and, like, just film myself. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty sweet. And maybe I'm just stuck on that idea. Maybe I'm just stuck on making videos. Maybe I need to go find something else, or maybe I need to expand my horizon. Maybe I've been too close to this. I don't know. But what I do know is that I'll keep trying. Maybe I'm not going about it in the right way. Maybe I can make my adjustments. Maybe I can talk in different ways and try to convey different stories. But even when I try doing that, when I've tried doing that on TikTok, when I try to appeal to what everybody else is telling me to do, it doesn't feel real or authentic to me. Like, sure, don't get me wrong, like, it gets the views and it's chill and it's cool, but I'm just like, every single time I do that, it almost kills an aspect of myself trying to appeal to somebody else's standards. So I'm like, I would rather just make the videos that I want to make for myself. If people watch the videos, people watch the videos. I can't control whether or not somebody's going to watch this video or not. I can't control whether or not somebody's going to like me or not. I can't control whether or not somebody's going to leave a mean comment, because a lot of people seem to think that I am just, you know, garbage, whatever, and that I need to go do these different things. But I'm also like, dude, you don't know me. That's the crazy part. Like, we are so quick to project our own insecurities, our own self-doubt, our own fears onto somebody that we don't know, because we would rather look at them and discourage them or try to discourage them than looking at ourselves. Whereas I've always been somebody, and I continually do this each and every single time, because even whenever somebody does leave a comment or a comment on the video, or like a comment to me in person, whenever there's an emotional response to it, or I feel like I was attacked, or I feel like I was getting accused, or I feel something within myself, I'm like, okay, well, where's that coming from? Like, why did that spark up right now? Like, what is causing that? It's like, I don't know why, other than maybe there's something within myself that's telling me that I need to look at this, or that there's some sort of, like, I guess, undercover root issue that I need to look at to help me move forward. And I've realized that through creating content, like responding to, like, comments and seeing other people's comments, I'm like, a lot of people, and even just from people that have talked with me and that I talk with as well too, is like, there's a lot of people that do not do the type of work that you do. And when they say you, they mean me. But like, a lot of people don't look at the world that I do in the lens that I do. Like, a lot of people don't self-analyze themselves and try to figure out, like, oh, what did I do wrong? Oh, how could I improve? Oh, like, what are my shortcomings? Everybody's always under the impression of, like, what did this person do? What did the government do? What did so-and-so do? What did sisters, parents, friends, family, government, job, boss, managers, what did they do? Very few people seem to look at themselves and be like, okay, well, I was the one that was at fault. And I know that as well now too is like, I know that I'm the reason why my videos are not getting the traction that they want to get, because there's an aspect to me that is afraid, that's terrified of what would happen when all these other people start commenting on the videos and like expressing themselves and watching these videos, and I get that feedback, because I feel like then I have to respond to every single one, because I want to give everybody equal attention. I want to be able to be there for every single person. And it's like, if the channel blows up, it's like, I can't do that. Like, that's not something that I could ever do. So there's probably an aspect to myself that holds back for me not doing that. And you could be like, well, that sounds a little like overly complicated. It's like, but if we go into the impression that all of our existence is only due to our belief system, because I believe that that's the case, because I've just seen it so many times. Because if you think about it this way as well, you cannot know that anything exists until you are there to observe that said thing that does exist. Like, there's no way to know. There just isn't. So like, you didn't know that I existed until you started watching this video and hearing the things that I was talking about. And you can be like, well, no, you always have existed. Yes, I have always existed, but I haven't ever existed into your reality until you started to watch this said video in the first place. So it's like, I can do this multiple times over, and I have, and I continue to do it as well too. There's just that, I guess, underlying fear within me that's like, hey, well, what happens like if you do get big? What happens if you do make all that money? Like, are you gonna change? And that's where I'm just like, no, because even when I was making a lot of money, and my amount of money might be a little bit different from your a lot of money, but I guess the first time that I ever made like $90,000, it was $999,000 a year. Basically, it was about we can just say $100,000. The first time I made that money, I was like, okay, this is a good amount of money, but it was also like, I just felt like I needed to do something different. I felt like I needed to try to go in on YouTube and try to make these videos. And I guess what I've realized from this past year is like, it's fun, it's great, I love it, don't get me wrong. Maybe it is more of a passion project. Maybe it is more of me just sharing these different ideas. Maybe it's also something that could turn into something else later. I have no idea where this is going. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't know where the world's gonna be. I don't know what the things are gonna be doing. But what I do know is that like, I can control that I post every single day, or that I do share my ideas, or that I do try to make small little minor adjustments. That is something that I do have control over. And I feel like a lot of the times, and maybe I can thank the negative comments from the people, because it's like, people have tried to discourage me so many times of like, oh, don't do this, or like, you're saying this, or you need to do this, or oh, don't try it, like, don't try that. And that's where I still tie back to like, they don't know me. Like, I'm gonna keep going out, I'm gonna keep trying, I'll keep testing what I can test until something sticks. I don't know what it's gonna be. I've already found out like other videos that I've made have done way better than I ever expected them to do. And that's because like I posted them 2 or 3 years ago or something along those lines, and then they get picked up, and then it's like, oh wow, that's amazing. But like, if I never would have planted the seed right now, then that tree, that video, never would have grown. So I just have to constantly and continually remind myself that each day is always going to be a new day. There's always going to be something new that's going to come. There's always going to be another opportunity. There's always going to be something somewhere. And for some odd reason, I still believe that like, I am making these videos because someone needs to hear them. I don't know when they need to hear it. I don't know how they need to hear it. I don't know in what ways they need to hear it, but it seems like they need to hear it. And I guess the main point is just like, try, dude. Like, make adjustments. The only way that you're ever gonna learn is by having feedback, is by learning, is by posting those first initial videos. And like I said, I didn't expect people to listen to these things, because I was like, I'm just gonna share this because I have nobody else to talk to. At least not like talk to in like these ways, because whenever I talk to people like IRL or in person, 99% of the time it's me asking about them or trying to figure out what they have going on or helping them solve their problems. So this was the only place that I could really go that I knew that I could talk about whatever I needed to talk about and share the ideas that I wanted to share. Because a lot of the times when I do this in person, and I mean, as you've probably seen in the comment section as well too, some people are very, I wouldn't say uneasy, but they don't always like what I have to say, because I'm showing them aspects of themselves that they have not wanted to look at. So it's easier for me to do it online, because then like they can leave the negative comments and whatever it is, and that's okay. Is, like I said, it's a projection on themselves. Well, they're just projecting onto me, but that's okay. And I can just realize that whatever ends up happening, I can hopefully inspire the people that I can inspire. I can have the impact on the people that are looking to have, like, that are looking for me to give them the impact that they're looking to have. And I guess it's just kind of a matter of figuring things out from there, because I don't know what's gonna work, what isn't gonna work, what's gonna stick, what isn't gonna stick. But there's no way to know until I try and I test it. And I realized that one of my other videos that has done very well, like, it was around the negativity stuff. And I'm just like, that's so sad that that's the video that does well. I'm like, what if there's a different idea or a different video that could also do well? It's like, then what? I don't know. The things that I have to think about, but yeah. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And maybe eventually this will be more sequential and more structured, but for the time being, this seems to be how things are going to go. So I appreciate you watching. If you made it to the end, you can subscribe to the channel. I post videos like this every single day. You can also like, share. I don't like doing those types of things, but sometimes you got to ask, and I'd rather just ask because we don't know who's going to be impacted by the words that we say. So yeah, enjoy your day. Talk to you soon.